So, Bob, start with Texas. Faced them, but it was a while ago now. As you look at them now, are they different, same?
They're a lot more cohesive now, I think. I mean, obviously playing together for this amount of time, you're going to get that way. Same personnel, pretty much.
You guys had, obviously, difficulty with them down there, so what do you have to do better this time around?
Well, we didn't have our full team down there either, which had a lot to do with it. But, I mean, if we play as hard as we played the other night, and we've got to be able to finish games. If we can finish a game, then we'll have our chances.
You gotten over the disappointment that's still sitting with you?
I never get over the disappointment, John.
Look back at it. Lots of opportunities. I mean, that was a game that you guys had.
Yeah, it's what makes it a great game, I guess. We got the ball up 2 with 8 seconds to go, so you're supposed to be able to put it away. We called 2 timeouts that shouldn't have called timeouts, and we didn't do anything that they were asked to do. They didn't line up in the right place. It's hard to run what you want to run when you don't line up in the right place. It wasn't one guy. It was a bunch of guys.
What did you do with them yesterday?
Nothing. I wasn't recruited.
So, Bob, as you're on the road recruiting, needs, you've got, what I understand, 3 signees, obviously, 1 commit. What do you still need?
Everything. We're losing some guys. Malik's been really good for us. Really, really good for us. And obviously we're losing him. So we're losing a bunch of inside guys. So you can't. Really, just off the top of my head, Isaiah would be the only big returning. So obviously we got to go get some bigs.
Do you have any inclination yet, or any conversations with Keedy and Sean about next year at all?
No, not the time.
Too early.
Can you sum up Taz's year? I mean, you guys asked him to do probably more than even what you wanted him to do, I guess. And then he had the COVID, and then he had the concussion.
Yeah, well, basically, Bob, Tazz was a forward. He was a forward in high school, and pretty much was a forward in junior college. And it's a whole lot different with your back at the rim than you're facing the rim. And he's worked at it, and then you throw the COVID thing on top of that, and then the other deal, the concussion thing on top of that. It's amazing he's done what he's done, quite frankly. He's just now starting to get his cardio back. It's been a rough year for us. It's been a really rough year for him.
Defensively, he's kind of had to, not play a guard really, because he's like mostly Sean and Keedy playing the guards, I guess.
Yeah. I look out there a lot of times. I wonder if anyone is, but yeah, Tazz has had to match up primarily with a small forward, at times a power forward, and he's tried to do the right things. It's just we've because of everything that's happened this year, we've lined people up in positions they've never played before. Tazz being at the head of the class in that regard. But I think as hard as it is for him to sometimes guard a power forward, it's nearly impossible for a power forward to guard him. So, I guess you take the good with the bad, or the bad with the good, whichever.
What's Kedrian's health situation?
He's hurting, but he's been hurting for a long time. You know, when you're that skinny and bony and don't have much pads, when you continually run into back screens and flare screens and on the ball screens, the on the ball screens are what gets him. But he's sore. I mean, he's really sore. He can hardly walk.
Courage with what you got close to the basket against Iowa State. I mean, there were some putback baskets.
We made a few. We rallied one for about 4 misses before we finally tipped it in.
That's progress, I guess.
You know, we played bigger than we have to. We tried to play bigger than what we had. You know, it's a double-edged sword. You play bigger, maybe you can rebound a little bit better, but you can't run offense. And you play smaller, you can run offense better, but you never get a rebound.
In this current situation, do you approach these last 3 games any differently? Tinkering here or there or anything like that?
Justin, I've never done anything in my life I didn't try to win at. In my life, from basketball to academics to whatever else might, the myriad of other things my father threw me into. No, man, I don't know anything else.
What have you seen with the development of like Seth and Kobe over the course of the year, your freshmen?
They're going to be good. They're really going to be good. I mean, in some instances, they may be better on the floor than some of the older guys in certain things. You know, it's the experience thing, and it's you can't get experience if you don't get any time, and seemingly it's harder to win if you're trying to give too much time to somebody who doesn't have any experience. So try to do the best we can with it. We got a heck of a freshman class. I think those 2 guys are very good. I think James is really going to shock some people. And Jamil really shoots the ball, and he's got length for a perimeter guy, and they've got a rest of the year and the whole summer to keep getting better. So I think those guys are. I think they're a great start to fixing this.
Coach, when you were talking the other night, specifically, I guess about that inbounds play, guys not doing the right things.
There wasn't a play.
Well, not lining up.
There was not a play, and that's the irritating thing when you draw it up 4 times and you ask them 4 times, do you understand what you're doing? And everybody shook their head yes. It wasn't a play. It was 2 guys standing where they shouldn't have been. One guy running to the corner, and then JB had to run all the way across the court to try to get it. I didn't draw that up, Justin. I mean, I'm dumb, but I ain't that damn dumb.
Well, no, you didn't draw right. I mean, you've had a couple days now to address that with them. Did they really understand? I mean,
I didn't address it. I know I wasn't recruited. I get some players, man.
okay,
Get somebody to listen to a play, maybe. And it was a simple thing. It's a simple thing that we ran all the time, and either scored or got the ball inbounds and dribbled the clock out every time. And they didn't run it. For what other reason, you'd have to ask them. I have absolutely no idea.
Who did you want to go deep? Was it Jalen you wanted to go deep? Or?
Sean wanted the ball in our best ball handler, or best free throw shooter's hands.
Right.
We called timeout. We called timeout before we should have called timeout the first time.
Right.
And Sean got the ball, split the trap. Shouldn't have called timeout. There were a lot of things went wrong.
you were obviously out of, I was going to ask you this the other night, and I completely forgot. The last 8 seconds, I mean, obviously you didn't have any timeouts left, as you said. Tazs comes down and you know, shoots a 35-foot. I mean, there's still like 3 seconds left, 3.5 seconds left. I mean, could he
could have got
got
closer.
something better? Yeah, I mean.
Could he have got closer? Yeah. But you have to understand how much pressure there is on you, and he's bringing the ball down the floor, and the truth of the matter is he's not a great ball handler. So he's bringing the ball down the floor, not trying to fumble it, and took a shot that I've seen him make before, but it's improbable at that point in time. They may have called it travel anyways or something.
Announced the sellout earlier today. How can that help you guys
Sell out for what?
tomorrow's game?
Wow. Oh, I think it helps us a bunch. I mean, I think playing here in the Coliseum is really good for us. I'm glad you told me that. I can tell them that now today. But people have been wonderful. I mean, we could not ask for a better crowd, a better fan base.
What has been the attitude of the team through all this?
I don't know. I haven't seen them.
You know, I mean, just meant through all the trials and tribulations. Last month and a half.
It's been up and down. You know, we've had games like the Oklahoma game where you just wonder why they even showed up. And then you've had games like the other night. We played hard. We played through a lot of things. Fellas, if you were there, you would 100% agree we played through a lot of things the other night. Inconsistency was at its highest the other night.
What are your thoughts on any other kind of like postseason play? You know, if you guys don't win the like Big 12 or you know go on.
I'm all for. I mean, I'd play all summer if we could.
Right.
I think that's how you get better. You know, it's that's why they call rookies rookies. They've never experienced what these older guys are experiencing now, and the reality of it is, we got older guys, but they haven't played, or older guys that have played at a much lower level, where there's a couple hundred people in the gym. So it's been different for them. So I think if we do what we did the other night, I mean, we got a chance to beat anybody. We just gotta be more consistent in that area.
Kerrigan's progress, like he was a little bit more comfortable the other night, a couple blocks at the rim. I know you've been kind of looking for that. What have you seen from him maybe in the last week that's been kind of different?
Well, I had a long talk with Malik about what we wanted to do in terms of ISOs for him and what he needed to look for. I mean, we didn't do it on the floor. We were just sitting there talking. We'd be a lot better team if everybody listened the way he listened. I mean, he made a great pass. The pass to DC was a great pass. That's a big-time pass, big-time catch. And, I mean, he's kept us in a lot of games. You know, I have to keep tweaking the stack because obviously people adjust. But I think we've got a pretty decent formula for it now.